In the world of geopolitics, there is no final boss quite like Iran. For nearly 5 decades, the US and Iran have been locked in what historians call a Cold War on steroids. Since the Islamic Revolution in 1979, the tension has reached a breaking point dozens of times. We've had the hostage crisis, the tanker wars, the axis of evil speech, and the 2020 assassination of a top general. Every single time, the media screams that war is imminent. And yet, from Jimmy Carter all the way to the early days of 2026, 7 consecutive US presidents, Democrats and Republicans, hawks and doves all chose to stop short of a full-scale invasion. Why? Was it fear, strategy, or a math equation that simply never added up? Today, we're redoing a deep dive into the 4 pillars of deterrence that kept the long peace alive for 47 years and why that era might finally be coming to an end. Let's start with the most basic reason: the wallet. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's most important choke point. It's only 21 miles wide at its narrowest. Through this tiny gap passes 20% of the world's liquid petroleum and nearly 25% of the global LNG liquefied natural gas supply. Every president's intelligence briefing says the same thing. If the US invades Iran, we'll mine the strait and sink tankers, as we've seen in the chaotic market spikes of early 2026. Even the threat of this sends oil soaring toward $120 or $150 a barrel. For a US president, that means gas prices at $6 or $7 a gallon at home. That isn't just an economic crisis, it's a political death sentence. Carter learned this the hard way in 1980. Every president since has been haunted by his ghost. Most countries have a traditional army. Iran has an asymmetric empire. Starting in the 1980s, Iran developed a strategy called forward defense. They built a web of allies: Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and various militias in Iraq and Syria. This is what military analysts call the Ring of Fire. Presidents like George W. Bush and Barack Obama knew that a strike on Tehran wouldn't stay in Tehran. Within hours, Hezbollah would rain 150,000 rockets on Israel. Houthi drones would hit Saudi oil refineries. US embassies across the region would be besieged. War with Iran isn't a surgical strike. It's a regional wildfire. The US military is the strongest in the world, but protecting every single base, ally, and ship simultaneously across the Middle East is a logistical nightmare no president wanted to sign off on. Then there's the ghost of 2003. After the invasion of Iraq, the American public's appetite for regime change vanished. Look at the numbers. Iran is 3 times the size of Iraq. Its terrain is dominated by the Zagros Mountains, a natural fortress that makes a ground invasion look like a suicide mission. Presidents Clinton, Bush, and Obama all looked at the day after problem. If you topple the Ayatollah, what happens next? You're left occupying a country of 85 million people, many of whom might hate the government but hate a foreign invader even more. The forever war fatigue is real. Even Donald Trump, who spoke loudly about maximum pressure, was deeply wary of getting bogged down in another Middle Eastern quagmire. He preferred shadow wars, cyber attacks, and targeted strikes over the boots-on-the-ground reality of a 10-year occupation. So, if the reasons to avoid war were so strong, why are we seeing joint US-Israeli operations like Operation Epic Fury in 2026? For 47 years, the US relied on containment, but 3 things changed the math. 1. Nuclear breakout. In late 2025, reports suggested Iran was days away from a deliverable weapon. The diplomatic window that Obama and Biden tried to keep open finally slammed shut. 2. Internal instability after the woman life, freedom protests, and the economic collapse of 2025. Intelligence suggested the regime was at its weakest point in history. 3. Technological overconfidence with new AI-driven drone defense and cyber capabilities. Some in the current administration believed they could decapitate the leadership without the total war the previous 7 presidents feared. For 7 presidents, the cost of war was always higher than the cost of a tense, ugly peace. They chose the devil they knew over the chaos of the unknown. But as we watch the events of 2026 unfold, we have to ask, was that restraint a brilliant display of strategy, or did it simply kick a much larger, more dangerous can down the road? What's your take? Was the long peace worth the wait, or did it just make the eventual explosion inevitable? Drop a comment below. I'm reading all of them. If you want a deeper look at the 2026 oil crisis specifically, click the video on the left. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. I'm your name. See you in the next one.